Before the video begins and the pitchforks arise, I want to make this very clear. I do not hate the game. I think it's not the best game in the world, but I don't think it's one of the worst games of all time. If you disagree with me, that's awesome. You can like or dislike the game and my opinion. I will go rough with this game. I know a lot of people will get offended by this video, and you have the right to disagree. I have a lot of friends who really like this game and has helped them in life. Also, this is for entertainment purposes and I want to make you laugh and have fun. If you don't like the video, you don't have to watch it. One more thing is that this isn't a review, but more like a rant on a game. I'm going to make a genuine review later on, so there will be a lot of spoilers in this video. Like, a lot of them. So this video is for people who've played and beaten the game. With that in mind, let us begin our strange life. Life is Strange has a lot of interesting characters. Wait, that's it? Oh well, that's it for this video. So Life is Strange is a choose your own adventure game with an interactive world which is similar to The Walking Dead and most Telltale games, meaning nothing matters. Yep, it's one of those games where everything you do means nothing later on, and only matters in that episode or some dialogue, which sucks because you have games like Heavy Rain or Detroit Become Human, where it was one game with a family tree of paths to take. You start off as Max Caulfield, a senior at Blackwell Academy. We're on a good start. She gets powers in a bathroom she witnesses two classmates talking about business! After an argument, the guy pulls a gun on the blue-hair girl and kills her. Wow, on to a great start. Max uses her powers she got from either the butterfly or out of thin air. To be honest, it's never explained how or why she has powers to time travel, and this is where things start to go downhill from here. Because it's cool having powers, but it's not implemented very well. But with our newfound powers, we save the blue hair girl and, well, that's kinda it. I'm probably going to be the first to say this, but Life is Strange is really dull in a lot of places. Like when you get out of the bathroom and you confront the principal. Now you can tell him that a student has a gun and be a snitch, or not snitch and tell him how you pulled the fire alarm. And both of these options are kind of pointless because again, the next episode forgets most dialogue options until the very end. And Max will always say after every major choice,
"No, he does not buy that at all. I may have just flushed my scholarship down the toilet. Yes, I could rewind and actually tell him the truth."
Look, I get it. It does matter, but it only gives some unique dialogue. Look at Detroit Become Human. You want to know why that game is so good? Because you had a reputation status with all the side characters and main characters. Hank, for example, can be cold towards you for being too robotic, proving his point on how he views androids. He'll even sigh and press on you sometimes. Here, it's like they have one good moment and they're back to hating on you. Alright, maybe I shouldn't compare it to a game that came out years later and has a way bigger team than Life is Strange crew. And you know what? Life is Strange could have been really good. Like, you got the art style down, which looks good. But the writing is really off in a lot of places. I get that this game is set in 2013. Wait, how long ago was that? So even when this game came out in 2015, it feels dated. Most of the dialogue consists of early 2000s humor, and it can work. Maybe the town is stuck in this bubble where they never moved on, but no, every character feels really odd. Even the bad guys feel like cartoon villains, and the problem with that is the villains are not entertaining or well thought out. It's more of an eye roller most of the time they talk.
Oh look, Max Amber. Is that your punk rock girl outfit? That was classic watching you turn on your everyday hero Jefferson yesterday.
Now you're totally stuck in the retro zone. Sad face.
Huh? I'll point out one more game that does the writing of an early 2000s game. The Class of '09. Yeah, that game. You want to know what makes that game stick out more? The characters. It's a satire of the late 2000s in high school. It's more of a what the hell just happened type of game.
I got a feeling you like something else in your female students too.
And if I ever compare the Class of '09, which is a literal shitpost, and '09 is on top, there's a problem. Speaking of, another problem is that Max feels really underwhelming. I believe she's intentionally like that because she doesn't have a lot of stakes in her life. It helps a lot for the player to connect with the character. And sure, she can comment on the world that she is interacting with. Even then, you can still make a more interesting character with someone who can have a little more charisma or have more of a voice. But in most cases, she gets pushed around a lot and even gets pressed on whenever someone doesn't like her. Really? I could easily expose most of these guys with my powers. Then there's Kate Marsh. Yes, one character that I also don't like because I feel like everything about her is a waste of time. So in the story, she gets bullied for being Christian, which is weird because it doesn't get that deep from there, as for some revealing videos online that were posted. So you find out more about her, but no matter what you do, it's always a negative outcome. Like when you see her arguing with David Madsen, you can take a picture or step in. Both choices always end in a negative outcome. You either get scolded by one of them. If you take a picture giving you evidence against David, Kate will become bitter against you. If you step in, David will get upset at you. So what's the point? You can try doing everything from keeping her from being suicidal and spoilers. At the end of episode 2, you see Kate on the edge of the roof and about to take her own life. You have the option to help her and, prevent her from game ending herself. Here's when an emotional moment can be ruined by one choice. What happens is that you're quizzed on Kate's life, meaning you at least care for her, which is realistic enough, but if you get one wrong, she dies. Wow. What a kick in the balls for anyone who was emotionally invested in Kate because she actually seemed like a good character. It's like taking a test and getting one answer wrong, you go back a whole grade. But one wrong and she dies, and it's your fault. Tough shit. Also, you can't use your powers for some reason. I don't know why, and I don't care. I see a lot of comments on videos about Kate's death and her save, saying that they wish they had saved her, and a lot of them got emotional. But what happens if you save Kate? Well, nothing. Maybe some dialogue and a scene, but that's it. She's never brought up again until the end, and maybe one scene. Remember in Detroit Become Human, in the first act as Connor, you're trying to defuse the situation with the android who went crazy? You gather evidence in a short period of time and confront him, but it doesn't punish you for getting one answer wrong. Look, I'm all for on sticking with my choices, but if I have to play Family Feud for someone to survive and not matter, it ain't it, Chief. And you can make the counter argument by looking up the answers. Well, guess what, bud? I'm not Tom Brady trying to cheat my way through a game here. You can reset to the last checkpoint, but honestly it brings the entire scene down and kinda ruins the emotional moment when going back. For some reason, she'll go from calm to accusing everyone. Honestly, I feel bad for anyone who tried to help Kate but didn't analyze Kate because people will be focused on their attention on other characters like Chloe. And speak of the devil, let's talk about Chloe Price. I fucking hate Chloe as a character because she is one of the most toxic, unlikable douchebag friends in games. I don't understand why people like Chloe so much, and everyone says that she's this cool, badass rebel in the story like she's Johnny Silverhand.
Know what? You're starting to remind me of me. 50 years back, minus the charisma. An impressive cock.
Chloe Price to me feels too resentful and mean. I never know when Chloe is going to snap at me for doing literally anything. For example, you're at the Two Whale Diner and you get a call from Kate. You can either not answer the phone or answer. If you answer, Chloe will chew you out for calling Kate, saying that you would care for someone else.
Thanks, Max. If you'd rather chill with Kate, please, go ahead.
Give a fuck, man. I'm sick of you always thinking you know what's best for me, dog. You ain't my fucking father. I'm a grown man.
I also feel that the game forces you to like Chloe. You spend so much time with her that it gets annoying. She's always pissed about everything and everyone. And the worst part is that she doesn't take responsibility until the very end of the game. Bitch, you should have been doing that to begin with. I know people who have been through hell and back and at least wanted to make a positive change. Chloe is so one-dimensional that the character progression is at the very end, and Max gets pushed around by Chloe and doesn't know it. I'm over here bending time and space, making more alternative universes like I'm Barry Allen. I keep saving Chloe over and over again, expecting Chloe to change. Wait, over and over?
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is?
Look, I understand that Chloe lost her dad when she was young, and doesn't want to accept David as her new dad. She's bitter towards him and doesn't even like him for years and years of living with him. Here's the problem with that, and you can make David's life worse. Even though choices don't matter, it's still messed up siding with Chloe. So there's a choice where you can side with David or Chloe. If you side with David, she'll roll her eyes at you and walk away. David will seem relieved by it. But if you side with Chloe, an argument between Chloe, her real mom, and you, the mom then kicks David out of the house, ruining their relationship. Why? You know what would have been better for Chloe and Max? If Max changed within the following week, maybe she can be more depressed due to jumping through hoops and saving her friend over and over. Maybe have more choices to be bitter and view Chloe in a different way. And maybe Chloe can accept that she's being a liability to Max. Clearly she sees that Max is slowly getting hurt from using her powers. Maybe she can be responsible for her actions. But like I said, that doesn't happen until the very end. Character growth is supposed to continue throughout the game because of the story that they're on. If the characters in the story are always mean and never change, they're one-dimensional, or a bad guy, meaning the character is a cartoon. Most games have characters go through a lot and change. They start questioning if what they did was right or how they got there. But no matter what you do, the end is the same. And it's such a big waste of your time. All the character development you had with the town literally gets swept up and destroyed. Most of the moments you have with Chloe, she brushes you off a lot of the time. So when she does this, oh, I care attitude, it's too little too late for that.
What happened to you, man?
Man, what the fuck do you care?
Look, I don't want to end this video on a low note. Besides the many flaws that this game has, I understand why a lot of people like this game. It's that I don't have good memories of this game. Sure, it has some nostalgia, but man, back in the day when I was in high school, the entire thing came out, I played it through my whole weekend, and when I got to the end, I was like,
that's it? That's the last episode?
It ruined my weekend, which sucked because, you know, it's the weekend and I got shit to do the next day. And I played this game 3 times. I listened to my friends and some fans of the game telling me to give it a chance. Maybe after all these years it wasn't that bad. No. Look, I want to like it, which is a damn shame because I really see the potential. It's a teenage soap opera, but Bully was a soap opera as well. What made that game so special was that everything you worked and played for wasn't for nothing. In Life is Strange, everything resolves itself, and most of the twists are really confusing and tries to be a whoa moment when it had no build-up. The teacher is a prime example of this. He had no build-up or anything alluding to him. In Bully, the reason why the dropout characters were so mysterious was because it seemed like they were acting on themselves, while Gary was behind everything to mess with you. While stupid and petty, that's Gary for you.
Oh, I see you've met the dorm's mascot. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Femboy, the girliest boy in school.
But with all this in mind, me personally, I wanted to see this game succeed my expectations. I wanted it to be different and be more than a play once and never return game. So much media always has you talking in the end. Donnie Darko, Cyberpunk, Red Dead Redemption, the one with the gay French people. I wish it was drip-fed to the player. And another bad guy was Nathan. You spend so much time and energy only for him to not be the main suspect. So much writing efforts was spent on Max and Chloe, which is a damn shame because I think some of the side characters could have benefited to the story. I think that's why a lot of people in the anime community are always saying that the side characters are better than the main characters. And that's a good thing, because at least you know the world around the main characters are characters themselves. But Life is Strange feels more like a stage play. You can say the same thing for every Telltale game, but everyone felt like they had their own goals and gains, and everyone contributed to the story one way or another. I think the drone girl could have contributed to the whole investigation plot, which would have been pretty interesting. David Madsen, the security guard, yeah, the guy that you butt heads with is an amazing character. While still flawed and his methods of doing anything are extremely questionable, in the end he's still a great character because he genuinely cares for his family and Chloe, which is a damn shame because Chloe always bites back at him every single time. I get that it's hard to face the fact that someone you loved and cared about is gone, and the new dad feels like a replacement. Look, I know it's hard to accept someone that is trying to help you and to be your best. I get that Chloe doesn't want to accept David in this case. Here's the thing that deflates really quickly. They've been fighting for years. This isn't something that isn't recent. This has been going on for a while. And I also get it. But they don't even warm up to each other. Honestly, I love that David is someone who changes throughout the story. And the most sad part about David is that when you tell him Chloe is dead, his face instantly becomes shocked. I'll let the scene play out.
David, Chloe is dead.
This isn't happening. It can't. No, God. Not Chloe. Max, are you sure? Are you?
Yes, I saw her. I saw Jefferson Killer in the junkyard last night.
Last night? When I was so close to finding out the truth? I promised Joyce that I would protect her and Chloe. How can I face her and explain this? I never even told Chloe that I... God damn it!
This is way more effective because him being unlikable plays into his character. He's used to being tough from the military, but seeing his response and emotion made me care for him even more. If Chloe wasn't a roller coaster of emotions, and when things got tough, it actually gets tough. I believe Chloe is so obsessed with Rachel, it brings Chloe as a character down a lot. The whole game you're trying to find out where Rachel is. I believe Chloe cared more about Rachel than she does for Max. If Rachel as a character had more importance to the game, I think I would have cared a lot more if we knew Rachel a little bit more. Another thing that I like is the TikTok Riz part, the end of the world party. This looks really good. It reminds me of Heavy Rain's Club Act or the Berlin level in Hitman 3. The music is fitting, and even one of the tracks is called Get Well Soon. It's a nice touch to connect the story if you saved Kate Marsh. But nothing is really happening. The start of the act or level, you're outside looking at the double moons. You meet Warren, who's another character that I might get into in this video, but you enter the party to warn one of the mean girls, Victoria. But you want to know what this chapter needs? Stakes. Nothing is happening during this moment. Arcadia Bay is going to be wiped out the next day, and instead of warning the party, you gotta talk to Victoria because she's the next person on the list who the teacher is going to kidnap. And this is a weird situation where one life means everything. Hundreds of people are going to die, but instead of warning everybody, Max and Chloe are hellbent on saving the mean girl Victoria. Too bad it doesn't matter because you and Victoria get got anyway, and Victoria dies. And last but not least is Warren. There's not much to say about him other than him being the first love interest. Chloe is the second one. Warren feels underutilized because he does help you out in one or two cases, but that's it. I wish he was a part of Chloe and Max's duo, and if you do get with both of them, it would have been an interesting love triangle. It would have helped Max in the long run too. Warren is a loose cannon most of the time. Sometimes he's nice, and all of a sudden he goes crazy on Nathan. And the way he flirts with Max is, interesting.
So you're sensitive.
Ouch, that sounds awful the way you say it.
How so?
Sensitive usually means won't be having sex with you.
I think he could have benefited more towards the story, but honestly, I don't even know what to do with him. In conclusion, I believe that the game could have been better with the writing and presentation. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like. I don't want to make this an official review. It's more of a rant than a review. I honestly wanted to enjoy the world of Life is Strange, but when I do, it felt dull and boring in a lot of places. I'm starting to see more and more people say that the game didn't age well. It shows. It's starting to have the Twilight effect after 10 years. I hope that the next game will be better on everything. Before I go, I want to say something to you, the viewer. First, I really hope I didn't change your opinion on this game and the characters. Even with an indie game like this one, yes, Life is Strange is an indie game. Reminder, this isn't a review of the game, it's a rant. When I review games, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt since making games is not easy. I don't hold anything back when it comes to ranting or reviewing media. If a game, movie, or even song sucks, I'm gonna say it sucks. With that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm still working on some other games and a few movies for a bonus. And if this video gets popular enough, I'll make a review in the future. It takes a while to make these videos, so if you like my content and want to see more, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and stay unique.